Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so picture this, one of the most pivotal moments in all of history. A man is dying, a crowd is watching, and his closest friends? They've all abandoned him. Well, all but one. Today we're going to dig into why that one disciple, John, made the choice to stay right there at the foot of the cross when everyone else just fled. So yeah, that's the big question, right? Why did John stay? To really get it, we've got to go right to the scene itself. And I mean, try to imagine the crucifixion not like some serene painting you've seen. Picture it for what it really was, a scene of just total chaos, mockery, and this deep, profound sense of abandonment. So first up, a scene of abandonment. You see, to really grasp why John being there was so remarkable, we first have to understand the loneliness of the cross. This was not some quiet, somber affair, not at all. I mean, this was a brutal public spectacle. You had these mocking crowds, people who just didn't care, the indifferent onlookers. You had the cold, professional Roman soldiers just doing their job, and of course, the religious leaders who had set this whole thing up. Even people just walking by stopped to shake their heads and sneer. And in this moment of ultimate need, where were his friends, his inner circle? They were scattered, absent, just gone. All right, next section, the disciple who remained. So in this total landscape of abandonment, one person defied all that fear, all that chaos, and that was John. He didn't run, he didn't go hide, he stood his ground right there at the cross. And the sermon we're looking at draws this really powerful contrast between two of Jesus's closest friends. On one hand, you have Peter, the guy they called the Rock, who followed, yeah, but from a safe distance. A distance that ultimately led him to deny he even knew Jesus. And then you have John. John who closed that distance, standing firm right at the foot of the cross. And this right here gets to the absolute heart of it. The sermon argues that the difference between Peter and John, it wasn't just about courage, it was about love. This profound, unwavering love that just makes leaving impossible. It's the kind of love that anchors you in place, even when every single instinct in your body is screaming at you to run. Okay, on to our third section, a new responsibility of love. See, John's decision to stay, it wasn't just a passive thing. It wasn't just him standing there. Because he was present, he was about to be handed this incredibly profound and deeply personal mission. I mean, just think about this for a second. In the middle of unimaginable agony, Jesus looks down from the cross, and his concern, it isn't for himself. No, he sees his mother Mary, and you can just imagine her heart breaking. And right there next to her, he sees John. And right there in that moment, Jesus basically forges a new kind of family. He says to Mary, here's your son, and to John, here's your mother. He entrusts them to each other. It's this family that's not defined by blood anymore, but it's redefined by love, created in the absolute darkest of moments. You could say this is the birth of the church, a community born from shared faith, right there at the foot of the cross. So let's just trace the logic here, because it's so powerful. It's simple. John stays. Because he's there, he's present in the moment of need. And because he's present, Jesus entrusts him with this mission of love. A whole new community is born. It's this really clear principle, right? Responsibility is entrusted to those who are present, the ones who just stay the course. Which brings us to our next section, witness to the true meaning. Because John's presence didn't just give him a new responsibility, it gave him a whole new perspective. His physical closeness to the cross completely changed what he was able to see and what he was able to understand. Because he didn't look away, John became the primary witness. And not just a witness to the brutal facts of an execution, but to its profound, divine meaning. He wasn't just a spectator. The Bible says it clearly. He who saw it has borne witness, and his testimony is true. He was there. And this really illustrates the core message here. Perspective is everything. From far away, the cross just looks like a total failure. It looks like defeat, like shame. But when you get up close, the way John did, you see what's really going on. You see divine love. You see the purpose of salvation. You see a whole new beginning. So that leads us to our final section, the invitation of the cross. Because you see, this whole story, it's not just about John. The sermon wraps up by turning John's example into a direct,
personal invitation for every single one of us. And here's the big takeaway. The cross, it's not some subject to be studied from a distance. It's a place to draw near, a place to remain. The goal isn't just to learn about it, but to experience its power by getting close.
So why does it matter so much to remain? Well, because by staying close, we move from just being observers to being actual participants. That's where we can truly see Jesus' love. It's where we're given a new mission, a new purpose, we become true disciples, and we can actually testify to what we ourselves have seen. And that's the final thought this explainer leaves us with. The sermon suggests the cross isn't just an event to study, but a place to remain. So what does that mean for us today, in our own lives, when things get tough? What does it mean to stand close, even when it's difficult? What does it look like to remain?